So what breaks the fast? Here is the list. Number 1, eating and drinking intentionally. If you know you're fasting and you eat and you drink, then by unanimous consensus you have broken your fast. If you eat or drink unintentionally, this is not breaking of your fast. It does not break the fast. The second factor that causes fast to become invalid is of course intercourse and intimacy, and this is of course by unanimous consensus as well, that when the spouses are intimate with one another, and this means the actual act and not the foreplay, as we're going to come to foreplay and romance and kissing. This is not actual intercourse. The actual intercourse is what breaks the fast. The third thing that breaks the fast is vomiting intentionally. What does intentionally mean? It means you caused yourself to vomit. And this is based on a hadith in Abu Dawood, in which the Prophet ﷺ said that whoever causes himself to vomit has broken the fast. And whoever vomits because he was overcome by nausea, by feeling sick, then it is not breaking of the fast. Number 4 of the factors that breaks the fast is ejaculation. So intercourse, of course, with somebody else, ejaculation if a person pleasures himself, man or woman, and climaxes, then this by unanimous consensus breaks the fast. However, if a person is sleeping, if a male is sleeping and then has a dream of this nature, even if that dream results in ejaculation, of course while you're sleeping the pen has been raised up, as the Prophet ﷺ said. So when you're sleeping there is no sin upon you if this occurs. Number 5, most of the scholars say, the majority opinion says, that if you break your fast accidentally before the sun sets, thinking the sun has set, this breaks the fast. What does this mean? So suppose you thought that the time for Maghrib is 8:35, but in reality it was 8:45, and you didn't do your job, your homework, and it's supposed to be 8:45, and you thought it was 8:35. And so you broke the fast thinking that it's proper time. Majority of scholars would say you're not sinful because it's an honest mistake, but you need to make the day up. The minority of scholars says he's forgiven and the fast is accepted. He simply stops eating anymore and waits another 10 minutes and then breaks the fast. Now, the strange point here, the opposite scenario, and that is eating and drinking after the adhan of Fajr, thinking that Fajr has not been called. So suppose you woke up and you looked at your watch and you thought, oh, I have 5 minutes. You quickly rush to the kitchen, start drinking and doing whatever you can in 5 minutes. And then you realize, oh my God, that was the wrong time. My clock was behind. In fact, it is past the time. The vast majority of scholars says, no big deal, forgiven. Your salah, your sawm is valid. Another factor that breaks the fast, injections that are nourishing, i.e. in our times, drips, glucose, right? Injections or drips that are nourishing, sustaining of the body. Most of the fiqh councils of the world have now come to this conclusion. What is this conclusion? All types of injections are permissible except those that are nourishing or sustaining. If anybody does any of these any of these acts that break the fast, there is of course a sin on them if they do it intentionally. If they do it intentionally, there's a sin and they need to make it up. So if you eat or drink intentionally without an excuse, you are sinful, you need to make it up. There is one action, if you do it intentionally, there is not only a sin and making up, there's also a kafara, a penalty. And that is to engage in intimacy with your spouse during the day of Ramadan. Intentionally, knowing that you're fasting and you have no excuse. In this case, there is a severe penalty, a kafara. And that kafara, Allah mentions it in the Quran, that you either free a slave, impossible in our times, or you fast 60 consecutive days for that one day. Consecutive, which means if you don't fast one day of those 60, you start all the way from the beginning again. It's a harsh penalty. And if for some medical reason, not because you find it difficult, for medical reason, you are told you cannot fast 60 days, then you feed 60 poor people. But that penalty is only on the actual act of intimacy when it is done during the daytime of fasting without a valid excuse.